We have new reporting from ABC's Jonathan Karl, which reveals that Donald Trump actually threatened the Republican Party with leaving the Republican Party on January 20th as he was flying out on Air Force One for the last time. These are unbelievable details from Jonathan Karl in his new book. This is a book in which the book is called Betrayal, the final act of the Trump show. And in the book, Karl reports that Trump went to the GOP chairwoman, the chairwoman of the Republican Party, and said on January 20th, I'm leaving the party and I'm creating my own party. And I don't care if this destroys the Republican Party. Now, Trump hasn't done that. And the book recounts that Trump ultimately backed down, but only when Republican leaders threatened Trump with what really hurts him, which is his finances. That's really ultimately what Donald Trump cares about. Now, the details of the incident are unbelievable. This reportedly took place on January 20th on Air Force One, as Donald Trump was quite literally taking his final flight out as president of the United States. Here's a quote from Jonathan Karl's book. RNC chairwoman Ronna McDaniel called to wish him farewell. It was a very unpleasant conversation. Donald Trump was in no mood for small talk or nostalgic goodbyes, Karl writes. He got right to the point. He told her he was leaving the Republican Party and would be creating his own political party. The president's son, Donald Trump Jr., was also on the phone. The younger Trump had been relentlessly denigrating the Republican National Committee for being insufficiently loyal to Trump. In fact, at the January 6th rally before the Capitol riot, the younger Trump all but declared that the old Republican Party didn't exist anymore. It then got very real with the following exchange. Quote, I'm done, Trump told McDaniel. I'm starting my own party. You cannot do that, McDaniel told Trump. If you do, we will lose forever. To which Trump responded, exactly. You lose forever without me. I don't care. This is what Republicans deserve for not sticking up for me. McDaniel said, this isn't what the people who depended on you deserve. The people who believed in you. You'll ruin your legacy. You'll be done. But Trump said he didn't care, Karl writes. So, first of all, the party wasn't loyal to me, Trump says. What he means by that is they didn't do enough as he sees it to steal an election that he lost back. They didn't execute the coup that Donald Trump wanted executed. Joe Biden won, and the Republican Party, as Trump sees it, should have figured out a way to give him another 4 years in the White House anyway. So that's what's at issue here, which is it's mind-blowingly childish. So a few different things. Number one, this is completely on brand for Donald Trump. There's nothing surprising that Trump is if I've got to leave the sandbox, I'm going to poop in it so that nobody else can play in it. I'm going to shut the whole thing down. Number two, it confirms that Donald Trump doesn't care about people who he sees as no longer being useful to him. So this applied to his supporters. This applied to donors who he fleeced, claiming the money's going to go to recounts and audits and all these different things. And it applies to elected officials as well. If you're not going to, or you're going to refuse to, or whatever, to steal the election for me, you're no longer useful to me either. Neither is the party. So I'll just leave. And number three, it also confirms that Republicans are essentially Trump's accomplices. They may privately believe whatever about Donald Trump, and some of them obviously don't like Trump. Some we know, and some haven't said it publicly, but it makes sense that some of them don't like Trump. But they begged him to stay rather than leave, and they recognize the damage that Trump could do. I don't think Ronna McDaniel is wrong. If Trump did start his own party, at least in 22 and 24, he could single-handedly lead to Republicans losing everything and losing badly by siphoning off a portion of the Republican electorate, creating three-way races, which Democrats unilaterally win. And then number four, it also confirms that Trump in the future is going to do what he sees as best for himself. It might be bad for the Republican Party. Trump was not a Republican much of his life. He concocted this whole Republican persona in order to run, and we've talked about that before. And Trump is going to continue doing what's best for him, and it might conflict with what's best for the Republican Party. If Trump might do something next year or the year after that would be bad for the Republican Party, not only should we let him do it, we should encourage him to do it. If he followed through with this threat, the left would be in a far better position going into 22 and 24. But Trump did not ultimately leave the Republican Party because at the end of the day, he accepted and recognized and agreed that it would be bad for him financially to do that. Trump has never really been a Republican. Trump serves his interests. He has his own agenda. That's all he cares about. And right now, he seems to be trying to keep his stranglehold on the Republican Party because he knows that he needs their money if he wants to run in 24. And at least for now, he has more to gain by remaining a power player in the Republican Party than by abandoning it. Because remember, if Trump abandons the Republican Party and starts his own, it's bad for Republicans, but it's also probably a losing bet for Trump. It's really best for Democrats and the left to the extent that the left is existing within the Democratic Party. As soon as and if it becomes clear to Trump that it would be good for him to do that financially and from a PR standpoint, he will do it. The guy doesn't care. And just incredible, incredible stories here in Jonathan Karl's forthcoming book, which I think might be out next week or the week after. We'll have more on this on the David Pakman Show Instagram, which you can find at David Pakman Show on Instagram. You can also find me on Instagram at david.pakman. One of our sponsors is Shaker and Spoon, the monthly cocktail subscription box that delivers ingredients and recipes for artisan cocktails right to you. I've been having fun using Shaker and Spoon to make cocktails at home. One of my favorite is Citrus Paradisi, great blend of vodka, tonic, lime, green tea, and rose. You open up the box, the whole presentation is awesome. They've got all the ingredients except the alcohol and really easy instructions. Even if you know nothing about mixing drinks like me, you're still going to have fun and create drinks that turn out really well. I've been impressed with the results I've gotten with the Shaker and Spoon recipes. You learn a lot about mixing drinks. It's fun to do on a date night. It's a great time, and it makes a perfect gift because you're giving someone a really cool experience. Shaker and Spoon is giving you $20 off when you use promo code PAKMAN at checkout. Go to shakerandspoon.com/Pakman, and the link is down below.